Hello, YouTube motherfuckers. This is the life you deserve. I think I got it right this time. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Hey, I said in the last video I was gonna come here with a trim. Cheeky little taper fade. Feeling good, feeling like I look good. Got my favourite jacket on, got my chain on, got my cool jeans on, got my fucking Doc Martens as well. Taking care of myself. This is what I was talking about earlier. Taking care of myself. You know, this ain't good, but hey, it ain't smoking. I know I could do better, but yeah, bruv. Basically, all this morning, all this night, I've been up 8 hours in the library. I've been in the library till 6 a.m. doing my assignment. Completed it, sent it off. Also, I got one assignment back and I didn't get a grade that I wanted, basically. So I was disappointed, but at the end of the day, I was still trying to be positive and just think, you know what, could be worse. Could have got a worse mark. Could have failed, could die. Like, there's worse things that can happen in this life. But I'm dedicated, I'm trying my best. You know how it is. Yeah, so what have I done today? So I've done that. Then I went to pick up a prescription, and I saw something really sad, man, because it was early in the morning, and this guy comes into the pharmacy, and he doesn't look good, and he's just like that, rattling in the corner, just like ooh, like no one wants to, like, he just looked bad. And this lady gave him his methadone, and he didn't even wait. He just got the methadone like that and just fucking downed it as quickly as possible and just ran out. But one of the ladies was really nice, absolute saint. She asked him, because it was his birthday yesterday or something like that, and she said, "Oh, it's your birthday, isn't it? Blah blah blah." And he was like, "Oh yeah, it is," and all of this shit. And she was like, "Oh, I didn't realise. Happy birthday." Which is so sad, because it's what it means, obviously, is that he goes there all the time, and they know him, don't they? Because he must go through his daily script. What that means is, again, gratitude. I could be in a worse fucking position right now. It's so true. People, we don't give ourselves enough credit for not smoking crack and taking heroin. You know what I mean? We actually don't. That sounds ridiculous, but it's true. And it's them small steps that matter. So I did that. Got my little trim today, just now. Picked up something, and I'm gonna pick up a package later. And what that package is it's electric weight scales, so I can track my weight better, lose a bit of weight, because I feel like I'm looking good right now, but I could lose a bit of weight. I was in the barber chair and I looked at my face and I thought, fuck, like, you've got some baggy eyes, bro, and like, your skin's all dry and fucked and all of that. But at the end of the day, them barber mirrors, oh my god, they do not do you fucking justice. Because then I go into my lift and I look at that mirror and I look in my bathroom mirror, I'm like, fucking hell, okay, you look good. But them barber mirrors, fucking hell, I looked disgusting, bro. I looked on the verge of death. And it's every barber shop. It's not just like one. It's every barber shop. But yeah, man. I mean, it's nice because I went into my uni lecture today. I mean, I was there like 40 minutes early, even though I know I didn't need to be, but yeah. But I said hi to a few people. Nice. The people on my course, man, I don't really relate to them. They're not my kind of people, as far as I know, and what I can gauge. They're kind of basic, but at the end of the day, they're nice people. Okay, they are nice people, and it's nice to say hello. That's it. It doesn't need to be anything more. It doesn't need to be anything less. They're nice people to say hello to, and fuck it, it doesn't matter what you look like. You know what I mean? Also, my friend sent me a reel. She sent me this reel on Instagram, and it was like, oh, what I see in your soul or something like that. And it was like all this old school shit and like cowboy shit. And I was like, fuck yeah, what a compliment. You need to look at my Pinterest, but like it was all just cowboy shit, diners, old phones. As you guys know, I've got a vintage phone, cigarettes, cowboy boots, diners, bars, dive bars, things like that. And I was like, bro, that is me. That's me and my soul. I know this is so cringe saying it because people say it and it does sound cringe, but I ain't born for this generation. And guess what, mate? Actually, there's a lot I love about Gen Z. There's a lot I like about it, but I ain't really fit here. And most people aren't because most people aren't fit in a modern world in general, man. It's overstimulating, it's overwhelming. So that's what I mean by that. I'm not saying I'm so different. Although I don't know no one like me. I can't lie. I can't lie. So yeah, I've had no sleep at all, but I'm in a good mood. I had to go on a walk. I'd like 2 energy drinks back then, and I just had to go on a walk and reevaluate everything and stress out. And what I like to do when I go on a walk, it might sound mental, but I talk to myself a lot because I ruminate. I like to talk to myself and I like to fantasize and have an inner world and make up pretend conversations. Obviously, it's not like I'm seeing anything or hearing anything that isn't there. I just like talking to myself and maybe imagining I'm talking to another person, you know. And I was doing it. I was like fucking pacing, walking around in a circle, talking to myself, imagining it was like, it sounds cringe, but imagining I was giving advice to my future son or like my younger self and all of that stuff. And it was in the dark, and there was this guy in his van, and he was just staring at me. And I looked at him. I didn't know he was there. I looked at him. And I was just like, oh, fuck this. I don't actually care that much, but I did look at him and I was like, you're right, mate. And he was just there like, I was like, oh, well, you don't see the vision, you know what I mean? You don't see the vision. You don't see what I'm on. All these things that I'm eventually going to achieve. And I know that I need to be happy when I achieve those things. I can't achieve those things and be like, I want more, because it will kill me. But it's just a case of getting all that baseline sorted, and then building off of that through experiences and hobbies and new people. That's what it's a baseline of. Being more authentic within myself, not caring what other people think as much. If I am feeling anxious or awkward in a social situation, number one, a conversation is two ways. Number two, they ain't paying that much attention, or if they are, they sympathize. They don't care. Like, I feel good. Still got the pickles on the way. See, that's an old school habit. When I spoke about masculinity the other day, my aspiration of masculinity is so different to other people's, because theirs is like hedonism, muscle cars, tons of girls, all of that shit. I value a sort of old school silent generation type of masculinity, but integrated in a way where it's holistic. You're not one dimensional, you're not a toxic person, you don't hurt people. It's all the good traits that the silent generation had, and being resourceful and being competent and being chivalrous. I've been trying to do that, help people out. I didn't make it obvious, and I didn't say anything to her, but I was walking back and there was an old lady next to me, and I slowed my pace down so I could walk beside her to help her cross the road. Didn't make it obvious, but she picked up on it because she did say something to me. And this is it, man. Community, society. Help that old lady cross the road. Offer to carry that person's bags. I did it the other day. Offered to carry someone's bags that she dropped on the floor. You want to see the smile on her face, because who does that now? No one. It doesn't matter how brainwashed they are and what their political beliefs are. hold the door open for someone. Doesn't matter what their ideology is. Hold the door open for someone. They will smile. They will say thank you. They will say thank you. So you do these things and you feel good about it. They feel good about it. You're fostering community. You're fostering responsibility. Being responsible for yourself. As I say, when I say this, I'm not necessarily talking to you guys, even though I kind of am. It's also, I'm talking back to myself as well. This channel is about giving myself advice from myself, weirdly enough, because I know what I've got to do, and I know it will come with time. If I don't die within the next few years, fucking, you know what I mean? I will have what I want. I will have what I want. I'll work towards that. I'll fight to the death for it. And that's what I mean, that old school thing. Like my great granddad, coal miner, had a family, had a house, you know. He never travelled, he never had a car, because you didn't back then. You were grateful for the small things, and you couldn't afford cars and stuff like that. But, you know, he was a stand-up guy. Kind, humble, but powerful if he needed to be. Saving people from death in the coal mines, digging people out of rubble. You know, my granddad, who is in hospital at the moment, he's not well, but my granddad has lived a life. You know, as an engineer, you know, he's lived a life. My dad, who goes around the country, you know, he's a salesman, and these are the, you know, providing for his family, making money for his family. But as you go down in them generations, you get more of a characteristic of, well, I think there's always going to be more intelligence, right? My great granddad was illiterate, like most people were. I think more people should be illiterate, because I think language is a social construct, and language causes a lot of suffering because you don't get to experience the world firsthand. You experience it through a simulacra, through a lens, right? These kind of things I will be talking about more in my future videos. But I'm just saying, like, it's these, you know, these positive things, but as the generations go down, maybe people become more intuitive or emotional or whatever it is, but it's an integration, and it works well if you can balance. It's like what Carl Jung used to say about balancing your divine femininity and your divine masculinity. Do I believe in all of that stuff? I don't know. But what I do know is that people can be way too far one way or the other. And that doesn't matter what gender you are or what sex you are. People, if you don't have that polarity, you're done for. You need that polarity. You need a feminine side if you're a guy, and if you're a girl, you need a masculine side. That's just the way it's always going to be, you know. And all of these things are technically social constructs anyway. I just love that sort of old school male, but I don't romanticize it. I'm aware of the racism, the domestic violence, the alcoholism, the emotional detachment. I get all that shit, and that's a bad element of it, but I take the positive aspects. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to name this video, but I think I'm just gonna call it "Today has been a good day." See you later, guys.